invocation prayer is next. We are now in the presence of pure being, immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. We acknowledge thy presence and thy power, O blessed Spirit. In thy divine wisdom now, erase our mortal limitations, and from thy pure substance of love, bring into manifestation our world according to thy perfect law. The daily word is world peace. The peace of my soul brings peace to the world. The Bible's sacred pairings, lions and lambs, swords and plowshares, reveal that peace becomes possible when I and others hold life's polarities in harmony. These verses remind me that wholesomeness arises not from opposition, but from integration. Within all people, strength and tenderness, boundaries and compassion, courage and vulnerability arise from the same divine source. Lion and lamb are not rivals. They are facets of one creation. Sword and plow are not contradictions. They are different tools for transformation. Peace begins when we see that opposites, both within us and around us, can be allies rather than adversaries. As this realization takes root, any impulse to defend, or harden begins to fade. And Isaiah 2:4 says, "They shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation."
What a powerful message to begin with. I feel like check done. We just had church. Thank you for that again, Beverly. The daily word is always right on time. I mean, what other time besides Christmas do we think more about world peace, right? So as we get ready to say our statement of being together, I want you to really take that feeling into your heart. When we say these different prayers and affirmations, they're not meant to be just the ritual we do when we get to church. They're meant to be reaffirming and remembering our truth. So when we say this together, really take it into your heart with that feeling of peace, which, as we sing every week, we know begins right here. Together, God is all, both invisible and visible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. I am individualized expression of God. I am at one with this perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. And that is the truth. As we get ready to sing our Lord's Prayer again, this is something we can do with our eyes closed and our sleep. When we fully awaken to the words that we're using, which I invite you to do far beyond these walls, not just when you're praying, but when you're interacting with one another. Really notice what you're speaking and allow it to be an affirmation, because that's the truth of who you are. And I'm going to do my best not to talk so much with my hands, because I keep bumping the mic. I have to be a little less animated, maybe. But as we sing the Lord's Prayer together, again, just bring that into your heart, hear those words, and just ask yourself, what does this mean to me? Our awareness away from the outside world, away from the busyness and the doing. Set aside anything that came before this moment and bring yourself into the present. In this moment, all is well. So if you feel comfortable, close your eyes. Step into the sacred inner sanctuary of your being. Take a deep cleansing breath. And feel your shoulders drop. Let go of any tension in your jaw, or your neck, in your hands, your face. Breathe in deeply, feeling visualize yourself walking along a peaceful path that leads deep into your own heart center. This is your Bethlehem, the house of bread, the place within you where you are always spiritually sustained and fed, cared for. As you arrive at the center of your being, you notice a quiet, steady light glowing within you. This is the Christ light. It's the spark of divinity that was born in you at the beginning of time. It's your inherent goodness, your infinite capability, and your unbreakable connection to God. Before this light, you perceive 3 beautifully crafted treasure chests. These are not boxes filled with earthly wealth, but rich, self-conscious storehouses of your own mind, your spirit. Imagine yourself approaching the first chest, the chest of gold. And as you open it in your mind, see it glowing with pure, radiant energy of divine substance. This gold represents your unlimited capacity to manifest good in your life, good in the world. It's the realization that God is your immediate supply. It's a feel of absolute security of knowing that your needs are met before you even ask. And now approach the second chest, the chest of frankincense. And as you open it, imagine a sweet, uplifting fragrance rising into the air. This represents your faculty of praise, of prayer, of gratitude. Feel a wave of thanksgiving wash over you, for the blessings already present in your life right now. This praise sweetens your consciousness and harmonizes your entire world. And next, approach the third chest, the chest of myrrh. Open it and feel the deep, grounded energy of physical wholeness and spiritual endurance. Feel yourself grounded. This represents your commitment to living your truth. It's the wisdom to take your spiritual ideas and apply them directly to your daily life, to your work, to your relationships. As you stand in the center of your own rich consciousness, surrounded by the gold of substance, the frankincense of praise, and the myrrh of purposeful living, you lack nothing. You are the source of the gift. So as we spend a few moments in this stillness, sit with this truth. Let Spirit reveal to you how you are called to pour out these inner treasures into the world this week. And as we gently begin to bring our awareness back to the rhythm of this room, focus again for a moment on your breath. You don't need to wait for a calendar day to be prosperous, to be joyful, to be giving. The Christ is born in you today, and your treasure chests are wide open for you and for you to share. So let's take in a couple more deep breaths as we begin to come back to this space. When you're ready, stretch your fingers and your toes. Take a deep breath together. When you feel ready, go ahead and open your eyes. Just look around this room, filled with gifts of love and kindness, community. seal the truth by singing the meditation response.
I think we may have influenced the weather because it's calmed down and the skies have cleared a bit. Look at
how powerful we are, we should think about better, even greater things than just cooling down. We are great manifestors. So today, we're not just celebrating Christmas in July just for the fun of it, but rather to bring our consciousness back to the idea of giving and joy and connection. Look at Christmas time. Christmas time is that time when people are excited, and I know there's a lot of sadness and depression when we feel disconnected at the time as well. And yet, when do we more reach out than any other time of year to embrace those that may be struggling, but at Christmas? It brings out such joy and compassion in our hearts. Not just with celebration or the gifts, although we love gifts. And don't worry if you didn't bring one. We have extras. We're going to play a game at the end. But the spirit of Christmas, it's just too beautiful to experience just once a year. When you really think about it, hearts soften. People become a little bit more generous. Neighbors, helping neighbors. We invite more people to church at Christmas time than any other time of year. We have to work on that. Families gather and usually behave better than the rest of the year, right? Even strangers smile a little bit more. I mean, standing in the line at the grocery store, and this time of year, the conversation you hear is, "Oh, it's so hot." And at Christmas, it's a little bit softer, a little bit more gentle. So for a few precious weeks, a lot of people, they live from that awareness of abundance more than lack. Can you imagine the world if we did that all year round? Even at Christmas, how many people just value the card in the mail, which is a rare thing anymore? Now, if I have your address, it's not that rare because I send happy mail all year round. But at Christmas, other people think of that too. All these little bits of abundance. So I have a few questions for you. What if Christmas consciousness was not seasonal? What would that change in your life? What if it wasn't just once a year? What if generosity was a way of life? And I don't mean the part where we spend way more than we should and then spend the next 8 months paying off credit cards. Don't do that. But the part where we share cookies, where we invite people over for a meal, where we share antlers, leggings. I mean, doesn't that feel good? What would that look like? What if prosperity began with understanding that we are ready to live in God's inexhaustible abundance? Does it take wrapped gifts for the smile on somebody's face? Or better yet, does it take spending much to put something in a bag? I'd be willing to bet there are some things in these bags that were more of a gift of the heart than they were of financial cost. And what I know for sure is they will bring equal amounts of joy. A hug brings tremendous joy. A smile, a silly bracelet, sharing protein drinks in the morning. All things I've seen today. And look at the joy that they brought. Look at how just coming together for a picnic, which is funny because we eat every week. And this week we sent Rhonda outside to cook, and we're calling it a picnic. And I love it. These little things can happen every day. So, in unity, prosperity, which is our theme for the month, looking at the teachings of Phil Morris, is not just about money. In fact, it's about so much more. Prosperity is the awareness in God's unlimited abundance, the source of expressing everything good. Just a kind word, just being still and listening. And you've all heard me share the story of The Rabbit Listen, which is a kid's book. And I want to just give you a snippet of it again. There's this little child building this tower of blocks, this castle. So happy and so much joy. And all of a sudden it comes crashing down. Can you just feel it? I don't know, my inner 3-year-old can feel the devastation. And all of a sudden one animal after another comes by to try to fix it. The bear says, "Let's scream it out." The kangaroo wants to clean it up. Let's get it all cleaned up. The ostrich wanted to put his head in the ground and pretend it never happened. Now, have you identified any friends so far in the family? One after another, they came to try to fix the emotions. And emotions are safe to have. Wouldn't you be upset if your tower came crashing down? I'm pretty sure we've all been there, metaphorically or literally. And did you need somebody to fix how you were feeling? Or rather, did you need the rabbit? See, when the rabbit came along, the rabbit just scooted up next to the child and sat down and listened, and just listened. And when the child was ready, the rabbit was willing to scream it out, help clean up, rebuild. But first, the rabbit just listened. Imagine if that was the gift we gave, not just at Christmas. And we are a little more open to listening at Christmas, aren't we? We'll listen to the stories a little longer. We'll listen to people share the memories. And yet so often on any other day, we cut people off. We move on. We say, how are you? And we don't even wait to hear the answer. Those little things are such valuable gifts. It's not about the wrapping paper, but about where it comes from. You know, the power we're focusing on this month is understanding. And understanding allows us to remember that there's enough. That love multiplies when shared. You can't run out of it. There are certain things you can give away and it just keeps reproducing. Giving doesn't diminish us, but rather it builds us up because we are truly participants in this divine law of circulation. As we give, it is pressed down, shaken together, runs over, and returns to us. Not just in our tithes, as taught in the scriptures, but in every interaction. So I invite you to ask yourself, on a normal day, what are you giving? A river remains fresh because it flows. If it gets stagnant, it's because it stopped flowing. And the same is true for us. The prosperity consciousness works in the same way. When blessings move through us, they continue to return. I mean, think about the simple things when you smile. Most people, not all, some are really committed to staying in that curmudgeon state of mind. And I found it just easiest and healthiest for me to let them. You know, Mel Robbins is on to something with the let them theory. That's a whole talk for another time. But most people smile back. So I wanted to look at some of our songs today and the metaphysics of them. That's what I love most about unity. They take these beautiful messages and scriptures and throughout time, and those can sound lovely, like poetry even. But the metaphysics tell us, how does that apply to me in this day and age, right? So angels we have heard on high. It's really a song of divine abundance. But I looked at some of the metaphysics, the Revealing Word and Metaphysical Bible Dictionary. If you don't play in those two books, just peek. They're kind of fun. Angels represent divine ideas descending into our consciousness. The message they bring is one of joy. Think of the glory in excelsis Deo. That means glory to God in the highest. And remember, God is within. So as we sing these songs, you're giving glory to you, to Christ's presence within you, within all others. All others, take a breath. I know sometimes others aren't showing up, maybe in the ways we'd like them to. But right there, God is too. And for me, the greatest joy in that truth is that wherever my prayers go, or should I say wherever my worries go, I can release them because I know that right there God is. Our thoughts are prayers. God is here, so God is everywhere. But metaphysically, the angels are announcing a spiritual truth. God's abundance is already present. If we were to go back and listen to that song again, we hear these things that the shepherds didn't create the miracle. They simply became aware of it, right? Think about these stories. They're metaphors for our life. Prosperity begins when we awaken to what's already available within us. It's already there. The angels remind us that the good isn't something we create. It's something we recognize. One of my all-time favorite songs is Jason Mraz, One for the Good. We should learn that one if we could sometime. It's one of my favorites. And I want to really ask you to think about it. When is the last time you went looking for the good? A lot of times we go go out the door, gosh, I wonder how bad traffic's going to be on the way to work today. I drive downtown every day. It could be a mess. Like, I don't know, not everybody wakes up before they get in their car. I'm not sure what's happening. I start like every day with a 15-minute chanting with a group of people, chanting for peace. Maybe that's why I can do it more peacefully, I don't know. But if you go out looking for how bad something's going to be, you're going to find it. If you go out looking for who's acting not nice today, they're out there, you'll notice. And the same is true if you go out looking for the good. Go out looking for the people just being nice. Go out looking for what's going well. The other day, and I wasn't consciously doing that, but I got so excited, and this is going to sound crazy unless you drive downtown. There's a place where I can merge onto 94, and it never really goes smoothly. Like you just kind of drive on the side of the road until someone doesn't pay attention and lets you in. And there was this beautiful flow like a zipper, and I almost wanted to applaud everyone. I'm like, what is that? Look at this. Look at how good we can do. And I laughed at myself because those were the thoughts going through my head. It's like, this should be normal. And if I go looking for it, I'll notice where it is. So I want to talk today about the gift of giving. And again, giving is just about the gifts. And that's fun too. I mean, have you ever, she's not here today, but one of our congregants and I had this great discussion in the parking lot a couple weeks ago about, okay, here's a child of the 80s, how we still have our sticker books from childhood. Anyone else ever collects stickers? And I really do still have one in my box of memories. And she said, I still love stickers. And I do too. I mail them out, and I happy mail all the time. And it was so funny to me because I thought, I'm not the only one, for one, that can be thrilled by a little piece of sticky paper with a silly button on it. Like, it doesn't take leaps and bounds, right, to bring joy to someone else. So at Christmas, children, of course, can't wait to get gifts. Yet something changes as we grow older. It's like we discover a deeper joy. And the joy is in giving. Usually we like to receive gifts too. I mean, come on, who doesn't like to receive gifts, especially surprises? But the joy of surprising someone else is even greater than when we receive. But I want to caution you here, because the law of circulation requires both. And so often, we get so much joy out of seeing someone else smile, that when someone tries to give to us or help us, okay, we have these conversations all the time. Who has a hard time asking for help or receiving help? I try to put both my feet too. And sometimes I'll notice myself doing something ridiculous that I should have asked for help with. It's like, April, come on. And yet, if in the law of circulation we are willing to receive, we block the flow. And just think of the joy you get when you help someone else, or you make someone smile, or you give a gift. If you are willing to receive, you aren't willing to let them be blessed instead of that. Take a breath right there. You are saying to the Christ in them, no, thank you. What? Doesn't that seem ridiculous when we really look at it? And yet, most of you raise your hands, me included. So I want you to think about the idea of giving in the way of receiving. It really is about circulation. It's both and. And if we believe all the stuff we talk about every week, Christ is within you, we are each made in the image and likeness, then aren't we each worth receiving as well? Just think about that for a moment. When's the last time you said, no thank you, somebody else needs it more than me, I got it? Or we just struggle on our own, wishing someone were there helping, yet no one on the planet knows where they're struggling and wishing for help. Because we didn't say so. I know, we laugh because it's true, right? I see it, right? All of us. But giving aligns us with this nature of God. It's, God is the giver, providing all of our needs. So as we give from that place of love, we're giving from that place of God within us. Love gives, life gives, spirit gives. This is our nature. When we give from obligation, we feel depleted. In Christmas, that happens sometimes. I remember in my family, I don't have a lot of family, my aunts are all gone now, but there was a time where they decided there was too many cousins, started having kids, so we would draw names. And it was funny because you draw a name and that was supposed to be the person you bought for. And yet what I observed is that everyone bought for the people they liked best, plus the person's name was bigger. And then they had an excuse not to buy for everyone. I'm like, I'm not sure that was the point of this exercise. Like, you still saw people like, oh, I'll give you yours before, and we're gonna, and it's like, give as you feel led to give. And allow that to be from a place of love, not obligation. Because if you ever give it from obligation, and then maybe you felt like you didn't get enough appreciation in return, and now you're resenting the giving, it happens. Well, gosh, they didn't even say thank you. I mean, they did, but not very nicely. Isn't it funny the stuff that goes on in our head? But if we give from a place of love, are we really looking for the tone of voice for appreciation? Or are we just grateful to see the joy that happens? We are our own thermometers. I used to tell one of my friends, she can be a chronic complainer, and when she's in that mode, she notices when everyone else has done wrong. And one time, I have a filter, but it doesn't always work. It never works on my face, but my mouth sometimes things slip. And I said, maybe we should check our own measuring stick. Well, she had talked to me for a few days. But at the same time, it's like, if nobody else measures up, how are you looking through your eyes? What are you looking for? Are you looking for everything they're not doing like you want them to? Because maybe we can allow the human in them to be just as human as we want others to allow the human in us to be. Humans make mistakes. They're awfully imperfect. Have you noticed? I mean, I noticed it most in me, because we're all our own worst critics. So what if we gave ourselves a little bit of grace as well? What if we gave ourselves a little bit of kindness, a little bit of patience? And again, that's another one of those things we give away a lot more freely than we give to ourselves. So Christmas in July today, it's about giving both to ourselves and others. It's about receiving. It's about this flow. When we give from love, we feel expanded. So what if that's what we gave a little bit more of? I want to look at a scripture with you and talk about just a couple of those gifts that we meditated on. In Matthew 2:11, it says, on entering the house, they saw the child with Mary, his mother, and they knelt down and paid homage to him. Then, opening their treasure chest, they offered him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Now, according to Charles Fillmore, the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary, the Nativity story is an allegory for the awakening of the Christ mind, our own state of consciousness. And the journey of the wise men and their acts are really giving representation to a more precise metaphysical story. So first let's start with the wise men, the Magi. They represent our highest, most intellectual thoughts and spiritual intuitions. They're the mental faculties that recognize a new, higher state of awareness, the Christ child, which is being born in us. So think about the wise men out searching. Aren't we always searching for what brings us joy, what brings us peace, what is ours to do, what is ours not to do? That's the wise men in our consciousness. The opening of the treasure chest is a conscious act of tapping into that rich storehouse in your consciousness of divine ideas. We don't look to the outer world. Well, we often do, don't we? For wealth, for satisfaction. But if we can instead turn to this inner capacity to create and share, we'll find what we're looking for. That's where the treasure is. So let's look at those three gifts real quick. The gift of gold represents the commercial value, yes, but metaphysically it symbolizes the manifestation of substance. So it is still about substance. But it's the realization that God is our immediate physical supply. And if we give freely to support spiritual growth, as we give, we grow. And it's really tricky about any time you give it. Didn't you feel yourself expand a little bit? The gift of frankincense represents beauty, of power, and praise. To me, that's the greatest gift you can give, is gratitude, appreciation, praise, acknowledging somebody. How often in the workforce do you hear what you've done right? Most of the time we only hear what we've done wrong. Same with the children, right? We so often will tell them when they've done wrong, but how often do we praise them for when they do right? And just so you all know, your inner child is alive and well, and it needs a cheerleader as well. But the frankincense means offering up pure, loving, and appreciative thoughts to others, which sweetens and harmonizes the environment. And finally, the gift of myrrh. Myrrh was used for healing and embalming, representing eternity. And this is the processing of an experience. It's not about just illness, even though that was in the literal sense. Metaphysically, it represents the willingness to dedicate our physical bodies and our daily work to the expression of truth. So the wise men teach us that the greatest gift is not purchased, it's expressed. How can you express your gifts this week to another and to someone else? A little town of Bethlehem means a house of bread, which symbolizes that substance. The song reminds us that Christ is born in humble surroundings. Again, it's not about the big gifts. It's not a palace. It's not amongst wealth. But it was in stillness. And many people believe that prosperity is about having more. But more of what? Unity teaches that prosperity begins in consciousness. So the Christ is born in us every time we realize that we already live with God within us. We already possess divine substance. And there's no shame in wanting more. That's not what it's about. But remembering that what we need is already here. We have enough to begin blessing others. And as we bless, those blessings return. So Bethlehem teaches us that abundance is often born quietly within, before it appears around us. So as we approach the end of today's service, I'd like to invite you to carry a message with you, this message in a tangible way. At Christmas, gifts symbolize love, connection, and remembrance. Think about that. Love and connection and remembrance. They remind us not only that someone cares about us, but also that we belong to something larger than ourselves. Can you give the gift of that reminder to someone else this week? At the end of service, when we gather in our circle, before we sing, I'm going to pass out some Hawaiian leis. And I want you to look at those. There's some fun bracelets, as I mentioned out there. You're welcome to. But the lei has long been a symbol of welcome, of friendship, of love and honor. That's its traditional symbol. So as it's given to you, allow it to remind you of this never-ending circulation, this law of circulation, and that you're surrounded by God's abundance, held in the circle of divine love. As you wear that or take it with you, allow that to be a reminder, just as the flowers of the lei are connected together, we too are connected in one spiritual family, not just those in this room or those online, but as humanity. We are all connected, giving, receiving blessings from one another. So you'll also receive that fun Christmas in July bracelet, like I let you know. If you want, there's enough out there to take one and let it be a reminder of the never-ending law as you give it to someone else. And it might be something silly, you know, Merry Christmas in July, and you'll be like, what is wrong with you? And that's okay. She's not here today, but Sam will tell you, Diane, Jen, and I embrace the gift of being a little weird. And it makes people smile. So what a better gift than to just do that. May it remind you, though, to live with generosity and kindness, with that never-ending flow of giving. And because Christmas is never complete without sharing gifts, I hope this day after service, before we head out into the picnic area, because I feel like where there's food, we all lose track of our order and thought as young, right? So I'm going to ask everyone, we're going to be in a circle anyways, to stay in that circle, turn a chair around, we can sit in the circle, we don't have to stay standing. And we're going to play a little game with the gifts. And again, if you didn't bring one, that's okay, we have some extras. And thanks to those who brought extras, so there's enough to share. If you brought a gift, wonderful. But here's enough for everybody. The greatest gift today is not in sharing these gifts, but in sharing fun together. It's not about what's in the package. It's about the laughter, the fellowship, the kindness, and the joy that arises. Plus, who could use a little extra fun, right? And that also gives Rhonda and those that are setting up, and thanks for those who are, time. But I hope some of you will stay in the room, don't rush out of the room, and play a little game. It'll take 5-10 minutes most. And you'll get to go away with a little gift. So I hope you'll stay. But in closing, just remember, it's not about Christmas being a date. It's about being a consciousness. The angels remind us that abundance already exists within us, as us. Bethlehem reminds us that abundance begins within. The wise men remind us to share our treasures. That's what we're here to do. And the Christ reminds us that giving and receiving are part of the same sacred law. It's both and. It's a part of that flow. So when we give love, love returns. When we give kindness returns. When we give generously, we discover that God's supply never runs dry. We are blessed and we are a blessing. It's a part of that wholeness. So the more freely love flows through us, the more abundantly it returns. So I hope you'll stay and play, and I hope that that fun is taken with you to share with somebody beyond these walls. But first, let's just take a moment to close in prayer. We know that our thoughts are prayers. So if ever you're tempted to go into worry, and who isn't, remember that as we catch those thoughts and transform them into blessings, it sends out that healing energy. So let's take a deep breath as we prepare for prayer. I invite you to gently bring to mind anyone, any situation that you would like to hold in the light today. And that includes yourself. Perhaps a loved one, a friend, or someone facing a challenge. And like I said, don't forget you. In unity, we recognize that our thoughts are prayers, so the energy we hold in consciousness matters. And as we turn our attention toward love and peace and healing, towards wholeness, we help create a space where those qualities can be more fully expressed. And we also practice affirmative prayer. Rather than focusing on what is wrong, we focus on the spiritual truth that is seeking to emerge. So we pray from faith, not fear, from possibility, not limitation, and from the understanding that God's presence, love, and wisdom are already at work. Let us gently turn within and take a slow breath, releasing the concerns of the day and allowing yourself to rest in the awareness of God. We focus our attention on this truth, that God is the source of all abundance, and there is only one light, one love, one inexhaustible supply flowing through all creation. We remember the angel's song of joy. We remember the quiet birth of Bethlehem. We remember the gifts of the wise men, and we recognize these are not merely stories. They are symbols of spiritual truth alive within us now. The gift of divine value, of faith, of transformation are all present within us. So in our hearts we affirm, I am a channel of divine abundance. I give freely because God gives freely through me. I release any belief in limitation. I understand that love multiplies as it is shared. I understand that blessings increase as they circulate. I understand that what I give in love returns multiplied in unexpected and beautiful ways. I am blessed. I am prosperous. I am grateful. And for this awareness, God, we give thanks. For every gift received and every gift shared, we are grateful. For the joy of giving, the joy of receiving, and the joy of living in God's abundance, we say thank you, God. And with complete trust in divine law, we release this prayer into action. And so it is. Amen.
Amen.
And now we come to our time of tithes and offerings. And again, we remember that giving is one of the most powerful ways we participate in the flow of divine abundance. So remember that the wise men opened their treasures before they offered their gifts. They gave not from fear or scarcity, but from a recognition of sacred value before them. So in the same way we give today, not because we have to, but because we understand that life is meant to flow, love flows, blessings flow, prosperity flows. Every gift shared through this ministry helps to create a place where people can pray, heal, learn, grow, discover the Christ's presence, connect and fellowship within themselves as well. So whether your gift is large or small and is received with tremendous gratitude, what matters most is the consciousness from which it's given. Thank you for your continued just generosity, for your love, for your kindness, for your presence in the many ways that you support the spiritual community. And many of you give of your time, your talent, your treasure in so many different ways. Whether an offering in that basket, serving the food at the picnic, or all the ways that we don't see behind the scenes, we say thank you. So if you'll join, it'll be up on the screen, and your envelopes also have the words to our offering prayer. If you'll hold your offering close to your heart, and if you give online or once a month, or you give of your time, just hold that energy close to your heart as we say our offering prayer together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give joyfully and amazingly, for the universe is my source, and abundance is my nature. And we bless all the gifts and the givers, knowing that as we give, it ripples out from us into the world and blesses everyone we come in contact with. And so for that we say thank you. Thank you, God. Amen. So I'm encouraging you to come to the meditation on Wednesday. It starts at 6. We only go an hour. And for this particular week, I invite you to bring a journal. There's some really powerful journal prompts that are presented during this meditation. You'll get a glimpse of the labyrinth at Unity Village. And I'll also bring my small labyrinth and set it up if anybody wants to walk during that hour. But again, just a friendly reminder, tell others that we have this meditation either virtual or online. So whether you want to come out in person or not, it's always a great time. We begin with prayer and then we have a meditation. you. You are most welcome. Again, I just want to remind you of the gift of giving. So after our prayer for protection, I'm going to invite you all to come to the center of the circle. And you can pull up a chair or you can stand, it's up to you. There's more out on the table, including in your wrist. There's more out there.
I know you are. I know.
All right, we've got one there. There we go. This is for your wrist. We're going to the necklace ones. There we go. Marina, I'm going to give you one out there. So, as we go into this week, remember that every interaction you have is a gift. So mind the gifts you're giving. Notice on the days maybe you're feeling a little less than positive. Maybe you didn't feel like getting up, you had to get up a little too early, or you're not looking forward to whatever you're bringing into the day. Pause and just notice what's good about that day. Allow yourself to reset so you can bring something a little bit different to the table which you're going to be facing that day. Your gifts are a treasure. They're gifts from God. So just be mindful of which ones you're handing out so freely, and also of which ones you're receiving. Because it's okay to say no thank you if someone wants to bring something to you that isn't healthy for you as well. It's both and we have some special gifts for you. Oh, so many presents. But I have special ones for you too. Is that exciting? Oh, wait. Let's do our prayer protection. And then we'll circle up, and like I said, feel free to grab a chair. And we're just going to do a little passing game. It'll take 5, maybe 8 minutes. We're going to have a little fun, and then we'll go eat. But first, we're going to do our prayer for protection. Because we always want to start grounded, start centered, and start by surrounding ourselves in the light we want to take. So if you'll join me. The light of God